Okay.
Hello.
I think we're sending sound out now.
Attempt number 2.
Yeah, it's working. It's working. It's working. So how are you doing, Campbell?
I'm doing good, and you?
Yeah, well, I'm good. Tell me more about how you're doing, man. What happened today?
Well, earlier today we had tennis in the morning.
Yeah.
That was really fun. And like I was saying before, when you guys couldn't hear us, I got my hair cut earlier in the week.
Yeah. And yes, it is. It's fixed. Interesting, by the way. Pudding said he was able to hear fanfare but no voice. Interesting. We fixed it. It was some like broken setting in OBS. It sustained a reset. I had to go back in and fix it inside the OBS settings folder or settings dialog. I mean. Anyway, all right. Let's go back over to your machine. That's where we were. We have this KidzCode Reg Explorer project that I created out there. We were in the process of bringing it down onto your machine, as I recall. Let's see where we were on that process. I think we had brought it down in here, so we created a new tab here, Reg Explorer. And I think I copied it to the clipboard, but I'm sure I've lost that by now. Let's go back, copy the path. That's what we got brought down right now. So we're going to go into Visual Studio. We're going to create a new WPF app using the .NET framework. Okay? So WPF, it stands for Windows Presentation Framework. It's essentially a way to lay out things, lay out apps on Windows. That's a way of thinking about it. Okay? The project name, I'm going to take just that part there. I'm going to say the location is here. / I'm going to just give it a temp folder name for a second. We're going to create it, then we're going to move it back over here. The reason why is that if we want to clone a new project, which we use to create this tab, we need an empty folder. And in Visual Studio, if we want to create a new project, we need an empty folder. So I'm going to just do this temporarily, grab it, move it, and then reopen it. So I'm going to do that step right now. And now, here comes Pudding. We're live now. And we dumped the Pudding again. Campbell singing the Pudding song. All right, so...
Twice in one day, Pudding.
So we've got this here. Let me just save it and close it. Okay, so we close Visual Studio. Maybe we'll just do this. Close the solution.
We were on the wrong screen.
Oh, thank you. Did you fix that?
Yeah.
Good job. I just closed the whole thing. All right, now what I want to do is I want to go find that other one I want to go inside it, grab everything from here, copy it, come down in here to Reg Explorer, and hit Control V paste. Cool. Now we can come over here. We should see things coming in here. Nice. And we'll kind of do the check-in initial project is what we'll call this. Initial empty project. Okay? So in this is not about, when we're working in Unity, we're learning about how to make games, essentially, right? Visual elements.
Yeah.
And here, we're not going to do that. We're going to create an app, and we're going to create an application to help us understand a technology known as regular expressions. So we're going to create something called the Regex Explorer. That's what we're going to do. So let's see, what do we need? We have this here, and we're also going to learn about WPF. Now all we need to do is open it up. Since I moved it, I can't really go to Visual Studio and say reopen because it's, well, I could because it's still in temp. So you know what? Let's kill this since we don't need that anymore. Let's just delete temp. Good. Yeah, go ahead, delete everyone. And let's go back into Visual Studio. Oh, sorry, let's create a new instance of Visual Studio. And then let's open up, you know what a faster, better way to do this is, I think, is just double click on the project or the solution file out there. So let's go in here and see that SLN right there?
Yeah.
Once you double click on that, and that will, that should load it up for you. Yep, use that one. Cool. Inside Reg Explorer, so I'll show you what the solution looks like over here. Let me just move over and grab the mouse for a second. Here's your solution right here. This is your probably most important file right now. It's called mainwindow.xaml. When you see ML, it generally means markup language. Sometimes it means machine learning. But in this case, especially if it's got an X in front of it, it means markup language. It's a language used to mark things up, to position things, change things, that sort of thing. And if we double click on that, we get a designer popping up here. And we get the design up at the top and the XAML down below. See that? We can actually switch those around. So the XAML is up on top and the design is below. So XAML is just a markup language for describing what's on the window. So right now there's really nothing on the window, but we can, like for example, come down here and change the width to say 600 and see what happens when I change it to 600 or back to 800. Do you see it changing?
No, I didn't.
Watch it.
Oh yeah, the
See it?
width is changing.
Right, so we have
Because you're
one-to-one
changing the
kind of control between these two. What'd you say?
Because you're changing the width. It's
Right. I can also come up here, click on button, and like, you know, say I want to put my button in there. I have to do that, right? Oh, yeah, I have to click it. So I click it, and there's my button, right? These are common controls over here. And then notice down here, you can see the button is down here. And if I say, like, right, change this text right here to say click me, look what happens up in the form. You see the change?
And you can see it change live. You don't have to always save to be able to see the changes.
Right, you see it live. So I'm going to delete this for a second. And now I'm going to switch over to our special double view right here, where we see both of our views together. I'm going to go down here, and before I'm going to move the mouse away, but I'm going to change this to 150, so it's a little bigger.
Oh,
in the
yes.
double view, it's nicer to be a little bit bigger. And we're just going to work together here.
Sorry, I changed it back.
What'd you say?
I changed it back before because we were on just my machine.
Okay, no worries. So I'm going to be on my machine over here on the right, and you're going to be on your machine on the left. And you're just going to do the same thing that I do, all right? If you have any questions, ask them, and we'll get this built. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first thing I want to do I'll tell you a little bit about regular expressions. Regular expressions are kind of a little mini language, and it's a way for me to work with, identify, and potentially even manipulate text that otherwise might be a complicated thing to work with. For example, to write a program that finds the word hello in a sentence might take some work. And to write a program that can find one of many words in a sentence might take work. It might take some work. And to write a program that can find any phone number might take a lot of work, right? Inside of text. But with regular expressions, these things can be very easy. And what I want to do, the whole reason why we're going into regular expressions here is because I want to be able inside our grid to be able to define a vector like that by typing it in. I want to be able to type in a vector grid. I want to be able to define a vector inside our visualizing vectors app.
Yeah.
Like this. And that would, if I did just this, I want it to go from 0 to a point where x is 1, y is 2, and z is 3. Right? If I do something like this, I want to define this as the end and this as the beginning. Okay? To write a program to figure all that out is going to be hard, but to use regular expressions will make this easy. Got it?
Yes.
So I want to be able to write something that can give me all those numbers without and identify, did I type it in right or did I type it in wrong? Does that make sense? Okay. No, it's not that it becomes it. It's this is the syntax for the vector. This is the syntax. So Pudding's asking, does that become it? No, it's the syntax for declaring a vector.
What does syntax mean again?
Syntax is kind of the rules, and usually it has to do with text. The rules for defining, the rules for declaring a vector is what I want to do. Aren't both valid? Yes, they are. But what I'm saying is if I do only, here's my idea on this and Pudding. If I do only this, valid with the tail at 0, 0, 0. And here, it's a vector that starts where the tail is here, and it goes to the head right here, like that. That's kind of what I'm thinking. And I think there may be a better way to do this. I just don't remember what that is. There may be a vector convention that might be better. I'm not going to look at it, but I think, as I recall, it involves an arrow over the top. It's like, let me grab my pen for a second here and see if I can get the pen working on the tablet here. I did not test this. Okay, here we go. My sense is, as I recall, the syntax for a vector looks like this: A, B, C, and then it's like this, right? It's probably easier to find P, define as P plus a vector. What's your P in that? So instead of starting point versus endpoint, right? Oh, point. Well, that's kind of what I feel like I'm doing right there. That's my first point, and this is my vector. Oh, I see. You want this to be a delta. You want that to be a delta 1, delta x from it. Yeah, okay, I'm down with that. Delta x, delta y. All right, so I'm fine with that. That's an easy change. And then delta z here at the end, like this. Okay, we might figure out a better way to do this in text, right? One of the things that's interesting about this, Campbell, is see these parens?
Yeah.
They're hard to type in. They're not as hard as they're not as easy as the numbers to type in. So
yeah.
I'm actually requiring you type in 4 parens, and maybe it makes more sense to do that. And that is my syntax. Remember, syntax means what?
It means the rules, basically.
Right. It's the rules. I'm feeling this is better right here. Ignore all and ignore all. Okay? All right, back over here. Okay, so to do this, I'm just going to come over and zoom in a little more on this so it's a little bigger like mine is. Let's start with taking the grid, and we're going to get rid of the grid. So put the carry inside here. And if you don't have it already selected, you can use selection increase to get it, and then you can hit delete to get rid of it, which I'm going to do right now. All right, next, we're going to learn a new control in XAML. That way, vector translation is super easy because you just move P. Yeah, well, I kind of want to do math. Where I'm going with this pudding is I want to, let's see here, visualizing vectors. What I want to go with this is I want to go here, and I think this is going to be cool. I want to be able to type in the editor A equals 1, 2, 3, right? And it would give me a vector. Gives me a vector from 0, 0, 0 to 1, 2, 3. Let me make that small. We'll do a couple of these here. And then I want to also give, and assigns it to A. Into a variable.
What is it?
Called A. What's it? It is the vector.
Okay.
Okay?
Alright.
That's what I want to do. And then I want to be able to maybe say B is equal to 4, 5, 6, and we'll use pudding's formula or syntax format. And then we'll say it's going to be 2, 2, 2. So it's delta. It's going to be a magnitude 2, 2, and 2 in each of those z directions. And that's going to tell you where it's going to go. So this is the base point, like that. And then I want to be able to say A plus B, like that. And when I type that in, does Campbell know what a vector is?
Yes.
Tell me what a vector is.
A vector is a line with direction and also magnitude, right?
Yeah. So it's got a direction and magnitude. And it's got also generally a starting point.
Oh, yeah.
So like, it's like, in just what, and vectors can exist in multiple dimensions. So if I'm in only one dimension right now, and this is my number line right here, and this is at 0, I could create a vector that kind of goes like this.
Yes, and
Like
then
that.
you could also do a vector in the other direction.
Right, exactly. And so it's got a start point, and it's got a magnitude. I'm sorry, I didn't do that very nicely. Let's see if I can do that again. It's got a magnitude, like a length. Okay, that's
More or less.
ridiculously bad drawing, but what I can do is, save myself by bringing one of these in here. So that's the magnitude right there. Let's just bring that over here. So it's got a start and a magnitude, right? And essentially a direction. You can just probably you say your magnitude is your direction, but no, it's not really true. Magnitude is more the absolute value of it. So it's got a start, it's got a direction, and a magnitude, right?
Yeah.
That's a vector. A lot of times vectors are just at
0.
Yeah, they start at 0 because we don't really say where they start from. So I want to be able to do this, and then do A plus B and see the answer, visualize. That I think would be cool. But we need
So
to
you would
solve
add both of their values?
What?
So you would add 4 to 0, 5 to 0, 6 to 0, and then also 2 to 1, 2 to 2, and 2 to 3?
Kind of. If I
And
was
then
doing
make
A
a
plus
vector
B,
like that?
yeah, I would say, well, if A goes from 0 to this point, 1, 2, 3, then I would take my starting point now would stop being this, and now instead be this. And now my A plus B would give me a vector that pointed would equal a vector that pointed from 1, 2, 3 to what is that?
3, 4, 5.
4, 5. Exactly. And we see it. I want to see the visualization of it.
Wait, why? Why would we decide to replace?
Because we're not really replacing anything, but we're visualizing the result of A plus B. If I say what's 3 plus 2, the answer is 5, but we're not replacing the 3 or the 2. Does that make sense? Uh-oh.
No.
Okay, let's look at it. Sometimes I speak quickly. Let's look at what I'm talking about here. Let's look at regular math, right? If I say 3 plus 2 equals 5, nobody's replacing a 3 or a 2, right? Nobody's replacing.
But if you have in parentheses
the
3 plus 4 or 1 plus 2,
2.
and then in other parentheses plus
Campbell says, but if you have in parens, and tell me again.
In parentheses you have 1 plus 2.
Yeah.
And then plus something else in parentheses that's 1 plus 1. You don't just say, oh, it's 1 plus 1 and that's your answer.
That's true. We don't. We wrote normal math. We take our what's in the parentheses first, so we say that's equal to 3 plus 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why is it different in the vectors?
It's not different. There's nothing different that's happening in vectors that I can see yet from this. Realize that this is x equals 1, right? So I'm going to kind of push this over here. I'm going to say this kind of leads to that. But I've got x equals 1, y equals 2, z equals 3. You get that, right? Do you see that? Yes. And now down here, I've got b equals 4, or sorry, x equals 4, y equals 5, and z equals 6. You get me with there? And that leads to also another point, which is, hold on, let's get rid of this. Which is x equals 2, y equals 2. And this is actually delta x, delta y, and delta z, actually. So I'm going to say dz here for delta. Okay, are you with me so far on that?
Yes.
dy and dx.
So why do we decide to add the second value of a, 1, 2, 3, and the second value of b, 2, 2, and 2?
All right, let's talk about that. So let's look at the vectors and look at them. If we've got a vector that's here, right, and we have another vector that's here, when I talk about adding them, let's change the fill on this for a second. All right, so those are my two vectors, right? I want to add these two together. So it's basically this plus this. I feel like I should make my own custom plus sign for this. All right, so I want to add those together like that. What does it look like visually? Visually, it looks like this. That's the answer. Does that make sense? I have a starting vector plus something else. Here,
and how do we get
let's see if we get that in a second.
to that by adding
yeah, let's look at that.
2 delta?
No, that's a beautiful question. It's awesome. All right, so basically I'm saying to you, Campbell, that if I want to do this and add them together, let's go get and build our own equal sign too. So we get a nice big fat equal sign. Like that. And turn these into one object. Boom. Okay, that's what it looks like. Let me take both of these. I just want to make these, I want to lower the contrast in the operators just a bit so they aren't the same color as the blue arrow there. And you change the fill, that. All right, cool. All right, so let me ask you this. Are you okay with this as a definition for addition in vectors?
Yeah.
That if I add something, one vector to another, that means I go to this one first, and then I stick the end of this onto that endpoint.
Yeah.
You agree with that? Are you okay with that? Let me just, before we go any further, I want to show you what happens when we swap them.
Is it a similar thing, just red first, and then on the endpoint blue?
Yep, it is. So let's get rid of that. And we're going to now take both of these over. And we're going to say, well, we've got to start at the origin. Let's assume the origins are right between the equal sign right there. That's the origin. So the origin's here too is what is here as well. Right? And we just line that up like that. Okay? And that's the answer to here. You with me on that? Watch. They both end at the same point. See it?
Yeah.
And it makes sense because you can see, oh, this is kind of like a parallelogram right there that we're building, right? In fact, so addition there's an associative of a property.
Yeah, you can swap them around and they still equal the same thing.
Yeah. Exactly. Putting in some stuff. Should make it like A plus B and B plus A. That way we can decide which starting point we want to keep. Okay, so let me just put this up here so you can kind of see what he's talking about. He's saying should we make it like A? Looks like I didn't get one of those in there. Okay, that way we can decide to start which starting point we want to keep. Yeah. So so A plus B. He's basically describing the syntax, a proposed syntax as let's do this. Proposed syntax is A dot plus B for B dot plus A. That's his suggestion. Instead of writing A plus B, let's look at this and take a look at the merits of this in a second here. A plus B, he's suggesting A plus B, and then the other one would be B plus A. That way we can decide which starting point P we want to keep. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of feeling like the fact that A is first, that's our starting point. But maybe, why don't we select, I think my answer is this. Answer is, let's implement both. Surly Dev's out here as well. Mystic Soda is saying, vector maths, oof! Yeah, what's cool about visualizing is we'll be able to actually see them instead of trying to imagine them in our head, which can kind of get a little overwhelming.
Wait, can you multiply vectors?
Yes, we're going to talk about that later though.
Okay.
I have to introduce what that is and what that means. But multiplication is actually incredibly powerful. I've used it in some of the code I wrote right on the other Code Rush show. It's incredibly powerful to find out if one vector is going in the same way essentially as another, right? Are you going about the same way or are you going a different way? Really useful for you saw the thing I built with the fireball that follows my hand?
Yeah.
Incredibly useful for there. I couldn't have done it. It would have taken so much more code if I didn't have vector multiplication.
Okay.
All right. By the way, we've got Surly Dev's synchronized squad zone here, flying out here with us. On this view, Surly, by the way, I've got the drone thing in the background because I wanted to prioritize these two screens. So you're going to kind of work down in this space. On other views, like for example, this one, you're on top of everything. So anyway, doesn't having two or more vectors make one vector? Yes, then the sum of all of them. Yes. That's what's happening, right? That's exactly what's happening. In fact, in the answer here, what's really true here is not that. Let's show you what really is true. Good point. Because I was saying, well, it's effectively this. You just turn off the outline of this to hide that. I'm going to change its color to be a little bit transparent. Just so we can see a little bit of it. Like that. Okay? What's really true is you get this brand new vector. And that brand new vector goes from here. This is really hard and gotta get the angle just right. Oops. I think that's about right. Oh, that's close. Getting closer to the right angle. Bless you, Kim.
Okay.
All right. There. It's about right there. There, let me give that a brand new color. Let's make it amber. Oops, not what I wanted to do. I like the amber here. Change that outline so it's a little more. That's your new answer right there. And the same fast way to do it. Do you understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Okay. Okay, so I want to come in here and say, yeah, you typed in some reg x pattern goes here. Okay, I'm going to change the color of this to indicate it's a control as well. So let's make it blue. Okay, like that. So this is just a text label, and then we've got a control right there. Then I want to come down here and I want to say the test. And right here, I want to say your test text goes here. So this is where we, for example, the vector format. And then, if it's good, I want this green, this blue arrow to be like, yeah, we found a match. But if it's bad, I want the red X to show up and say we did not find a match. So we can live, while we're typing in, see immediately is there a match or not. Does that make sense? So some visual feedback there. At the start of this, you're solving a problem with regex, now you have two problems, says Blueberries. Sorry, this is Mark. We lost you for a few moments. I think we lost connection. Signal arc seems to have dropped to no drone formation. Yeah, I did see some of that. All right, let's kill and restart. Thanks so much. We're gonna restart some apps here, kids. Close that down. Close that down. Close that down. Close. I'm gonna need to close this. It's gonna take me about 2 minutes to restart all of this. Let's see. I do have buttons to speed it up. 1. I have to wait for it to start. Really. Try again. 1. Goes. 2. There it goes. And 3. Coming in. I have to also reset the overlays. We're about maybe 30 seconds from getting it done, I think. Waiting for one app to finish, starting up. Thanks, Shirley. Where's your hat, Campbell?
Oh, I don't have it on today.
You want this one, buddy?
Sure.
Here we go. I gotta get a good spin here. I can't quite do it. Let's see. Oh, not too bad. Do you not have your headphones on, buddy?
No, I do not. It's a bit too loud.
It's too loud?
Yeah.
You can tell me to drop it down. I have individual control of your volume from other people.
Oh.
So just tell me to drop it down if that's the case. Let's see, we started up. Let's do this. I need to turn off.
Certainly does.
Devs in the house. We're getting, let's see, what do I need to do? I need to, did I turn off the clock? I think I did. I need to refresh one more time, and now I'm done with the initialization. I think we are good. So it needs to be initialized. So got it? There we go. Now we got it. Okay, back over. Okay, and so this is part of what I want to do. I also want to do, there's something else that I want to do as well, but we're going to get into that later. It's kind of a surprise. But for now, the UI is going to be pretty simple. It's just going to consist of 4 controls and an answer to those controls. Right? It's going to be one of these two will show somewhere, like maybe down here. Okay? This or that. You good with that, Campbell?
Yeah.
That's what we're going to build. All right. With that, let's switch over. I'm going to switch over to WPF. You're in WPF. We're in here together. Put the caret right about where mine is. Right here above window, right in this empty line right here. And now we're going to type in SP. Now, we could drag controls over, but we're going to use CodeRush instead to do that, to build some of these templates, to build the controls. So type in SP right where I was.
SP? No, for some reason SP is opening mouse without borders.
Check to see if your control
Or
keys.
S in general.
Check to see if your control alt Windows keys, some keys are down.
Okay.
There you go. Looks like you're good now. All right, so SP and then spacebar to expand it. This is going to give us what's called a stack panel. And a stack panel lets you stack things up, and you can stack them either vertically or horizontally.
I love trash.
Well, look, it's Strobosaurus. Strobosaurus. Oh no, don't look. Don't look over here. No, don't look. No, don't look, Campbell. You're too young to see these things. Okay, back over to a split view. Oh, Mom's here. Oh, with the most amazing delivery. Let me check it out. How's it looking? It looks dark. Is it good? Oh, that looks really good. Bacon delivery, kids. Look at that.
Bacon.
Karen was going to kick me out of the house because I kept cooking bacon all the time. So I had to outsource my bacon cooking. That's okay. That's awesome. Okay. So when CodeRush expands it like this, Campbell, it gives you some fields to fill out. One is the name of this control. Okay? If you have a name for the control, that means you can use it, reference it in code. Okay?
Yeah.
Pudding's asking for some bacon to be sent to Peru.
Sending it now.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not.
Keep it there. Miss Exoda says, I like trains.
Okay, weirdo.
Let's go play, we're going to say, Mr. Smoopy's got some trains. Should we do Mr. Smoopy? We haven't seen Mr. Smoopy in a while. Here comes Mr. Smoopy. There's a train for you, Miss Exoda.
What are you doing?
He likes
We're
Legos.
working on
Pudding's asking, Karen, why are you playing with my feelings?
We're working on expression.
I will send them. Just yeah. No, I think they're spiritually on their way to Peru.
Okay, fine. He says, don't be like the last 10 girls I've dated. Okay. I feel like public service announcement, Karen is not like the last 10 girls you dated. That's about all I can say right now. All right, so let's go in. Let's get back. We've got stack panel. This is the name. Blueberries. We'll take bacon here in Ohio, too. Cool. All right. So
You guys have to come to Costa Rica for the best bacon.
So if I've got the name of something, like in real life, Campbell, right? If I name a variable, or like in code, or if I know somebody's name, like Eli, I can say, hey, Eli, do the dishes for me, right? Or something like that. And doing that,
Oh wait, that's cool.
by the way, this is what Mom does all the time whenever I try to teach the kids something. Mom makes it a little extra challenging. Yeah, bring some bacon here to Portugal. Miss Exoda, you're in Portugal. Karen and I are thinking about moving to Spain.
Valencia, Spain.
Kind of totally on the other side of the situation.
But right next
there.
to Portugal.
It's not right next. It's like completely, on the other side. But
Well, Spain is next to Portugal.
yes, yeah. But we're like east side of Spain. There, we're looking at Valencia.
East side living. Oh, sorry. I'm gonna go because I forget to not talk.
Wait, you live in Costa Rica. Don't you guys speak Spanish? Yeah, Karen does. Karen says, "Sí, I speak Spanish." You bet. Yeah, absolutely.
Y Campbell también.
Yeah.
Más o menos.
Where is Stream Essentials? There's something here. Thought I would be able to see it, spot it here. There's something else we need to refresh. But it's not happening. All right, let's go back to the code. Can we write some code here?
Yes.
Are you okay with that? So the name, I was explaining, you can name this anything you want. It's just like a naming a variable. Okay? This I don't care about. I'm just looking for some sort of affirmation from you, Campbell, that you got and understand it so I can move to the next thing.
Yes.
Yo no hablo español, Peru understand español. Do you understand what that is, Campbell?
No,
Did
can
see
you
the
put
chat
it
room?
up? Can you show the
Yeah, let me
message?
go see if I can do that. I need to find. Is that it? No, I don't think that's it. No, that's Streamlabs. I'm looking for. Why can't I find it? It must be on another page. Is that what it is? Host, that's the page it's on right there. All right, I've got to, in order to fix that, Campbell, I've got to switch away and kill everything and restart. Like, it's just it'll be a quick one, but I can do it. Give me a second to get to the host page. Needed. Okay. And let's do that. And let's get some sound up. And now I think I can bring it up. Oh, Mystic Soda it said, yo no hablo español.
Pero entiendo español.
What does that mean, Campbell?
Well, I think he meant to say pero understand español.
Okay.
But the Spanish word for that is entiendo.
Entiende? Okay, got it. What I meant was, I don't speak Spanish, but I do understand it. Cool. Well, I can barely understand it is what I can do. All right. Yeah, entiendo. Good job, Campbell. Good job, Mystic Soda. Okay, so back to our split view. We're not going to change the name. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Orientation can be horizontal or vertical. I want to stack these things vertically, like this. So let's change it. Type in V.
Oh.
And then when it suggests vertical, just hit enter. Okay? Hit enter one more time, and now you're inside the stack panel.
Oh.
You with me?
Yeah, I'm there.
Let me show you what a stack panel does real quickly. Don't do what I'm doing. I'm just going to show it to you. I'm going to create a new button, and we'll call it button 1. And let's give it a width of like 120 and a height of 80, like that. And we're going to call this button 1, like that. And now I'm just going to, let's give it some, I'm just going to give it a margin all the way around about 4, is what I'm going to do. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this. Let's just change this to 2. And now I will continue to duplicate this down. And see what's happening with this? See how my buttons are getting stacked together like that? That is what a stack panel does when it's vertically oriented. Watch what happens when I change it to horizontal. See it?
Oh, yeah.
Very cool, right? All I did was change one property and everything else it's still new about button 1, 2, and 3. See what I'm saying? Okay, I'm going to change it back to vertical. I'm going to go selection increase, get the contents, get rid of them, so I'm back to matching it. You with me?
Yeah.
Get your carrot right in here in the stack panel.
Uh-huh.
I want to create another stack panel here. This one I'm going to make it horizontal because I want to have the label next to the text box. So I'm going to type in SP. And one other thing before you get there, all right, well, you can kind of do that.
Oh, what?
Why don't you delete that? Selection increase and delete that. Okay. Before you get there, I want to teach you one thing. Get to the right here, SP. In CodeRush, there's a convention that says if you want a shorter version of a template, just put a comma after it. So put a comma here. We're going to get a different version of the SP template for stack panels. This one does not ask me for the name.
Oh.
Okay? We want it to be horizontal, so just hit enter. Good job. And now we're inside ready to go. Okay? Now, inside here we want to add a label. So just hit the letter L for label. Space. Expand it. We'll go ahead and hit the label 1. We don't need it to change the name. The content here we're going to call it regx space pattern. Colon. Got it?
Yeah.
Let's actually delete. Let's hit enter, but let's go delete the X name. We don't need a name in here at all. Okay? We can just delete that. You need selection increase here if you want. There you go. Looks like you did that. Good. Go down to the next line. By the way, up at the top here, you see regex pattern. Now we can't see that because we're zoomed out here, and you can't see it on yours because you're not scrolled up. Let me scroll yours up a second. Hold your mouse still for a second. I want to do this. See, it's right up there at the top.
Oh, yeah.
What I want to do is let's change. I think we can change the font size here. Let me see if I can do that. I think I can come up here and say font size right up here, and I'm going to say set it equal to 28. Got
Why
it?
did it say? Why is it acting? Oh wait, why is everything acting as if it's a string? Stack panel, the name. Well, the name is a string.
That's a great
But
question.
the orientation
That's part of the syntax. Remember what syntax means?
Yeah.
It's part of the syntax for XAML. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Mystic Soda is asking, I don't quite understand the question. So if it's horizontal, it's Q? And I don't understand what you mean by Q on that. They're both kind of Qs in terms of stacking things up. And maybe there's a different meaning to Q that you have there. Mr. Code, let me know. So do this. Add this right up here. Font size equals 28. Right up inside there, so we can see it on yours too.
Here?
Yep.
Or?
Yeah, add a space. And now type in FONT. Look for font size.
Oops.
Get rid of that extra quote to your right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Try again.
FONT.
S. And now hit enter. Now type in 28. Sweet. All right. Back down in that empty line. Let's go down line 12 now for me. Same for you, it looks like. On line 12, we want a text box. So TBX is the CodeRush template for that. TBX. Space. And this one, we want to give it a good name. So type in TBX, lowercase t, TBX, and we're going to type in regx pattern. This is going to give us access to whatever they type in here. Okay? And let's start typing in just like, I want to type in like the letter N here for now. And the reason I wanted to type in the letter N is because look at this.
Oh!
It's not lined up. See that?
Yeah.
I want it lined up. So to line it up, I'm going to come up over to the end of the line, right over here, inside the bracket right here. And I'm going to type in M0. This is a template for declaring margins with CodeRush. So M0, space like this. And don't hit enter on it yet. Go back to, hold on, did it expand just like that, or did you hit, that doesn't make sense to me. Try it again, M0.
I did M0. Hit space.
Holy cow! Got a CodeRush issue here. Hold on a second. I've got a template that doesn't go out with everybody else. Do I report it? I think I'm going to report it here. Okay, kids, looks like I've got an M template I need to give to you that we aren't shipping. My template looks like this, M0, and it expands like that up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, so we can individually change those. Campbell's, who's got a regular installed CodeRush, does that. So that's what we need to fix. Let me just report that for a second here. M template for WPF. I need to get this to you. I need to get this to you. We are dog fooding CodeRush 5 days a week here out here on this channel. And one of the things sometimes happens is we might see a CodeRush issue, something we need to change or improve in it. And that's what we're doing right now. All right, so what we need for you, I'm going to do this. I'm going to copy that in my results of that template, come over to your machine, paste it in. And what we need to do is these correspond to left, top, right, bottom.
Okay.
Okay? I want you to change the top one so that end lines up with the other end. I'm going to do the same thing so that, and we'll see if we get the same number in here. For me, I get that is what it looks like. Oh, you haven't tried it? You haven't done it yet?
No,
Change
sorry.
That. Change that one. Yeah. Looks good to you?
Wait.
4 seems to be the magic number.
Wait. How do I zoom in?
What?
How do I zoom in?
Control plus the mouse wheel. Nice.
Yeah,
Looks
it
good.
seems to line up
Okay.
pretty well.
One other thing I want to do is I want to set the min width. This will be also interesting. I want to get the min width template done. So I think min width is MW. Whoops. Hold on. MW and then a number. And I want to set a min width like maybe on 120 on that. Try copying MW. Not there. Do it outside of.
Huh?
You've got a comma 1 here.
Oh wait, no. I was trying to get it even more lined up.
Oh, I see. You're going to do a point 1 is what you're trying to do.
Yeah, I did do a point 1.
Oh, I thought that was comma. All right. No worries. Go outside of this and go to and try typing in MW for min width and then 120.
Oops. Ah!
The 120 needs to be right next to the W.
Yeah.
Correct. Also none of that. All right. So that's on me. I got to go get those in there. And meanwhile, I'm going to, since that's not there for you, I'm going to copy these and throw them in over on your machine. There it is right there. Okay? All right, so we set up the min width for that. We can zoom out from here as well. So there's what that min width has done. If we come in and change it, let's maybe make it a little longer than that. Make it maybe 220. Or maybe 320. Or maybe 420. All right, there we go. All right, we've done that right there. Man, I wish I had a father like this. Having a father teach me programming. Yeah, there you go. I wish I had a father like me too. I'd be awesome as my own dad. But like, I'd probably be the anti-matter version of me, so it'd be instant destruction if we got close to each other. Okay, you with me so far? You got the same thing as I do?
Uh-huh.
Okay, let's do this next. We're going to now selection increase to select the stack panel. Right? I want something like this, and I want something like it just underneath. We're going to just change a few things. So selection increase until you get the inner stack panel. Keep going.
Yeah, I believe.
I think you got it. All right, good. You can scroll that to the left so to verify. Now shift enter to duplicate this. Okay. We're going to just hit enter, 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 enter till we get down here for the content. 2 more times, I think. All right, and now we're going to change this to our text to test, like this. And we'll get rid of pattern over here, like that. Okay. We also, I just noticed there was a connection down. You want to change, at least for me, you want to change this name down here to TBX test. Right there.
I don't have that.
Yeah, I want you to change it to it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and good. And because we already adjusted the text box in 1, we've now got it working down in 2 as well. Okay? So there we've got the text to test. Oh, I want this to be regular human text, so we'll use spaces. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Right there. We might also do this. On this label, we might come in here and do a margin here where we say the left is going to be maybe 8, and then we'll do 0, 0, zeros. All zeros here are the margins, like this. Okay, and just maybe a little bit more to nudge it out, or maybe like that. Just to nudge it. Normally you don't have to do this, but I kind of like them lined up like that. You can also use a grid to do this, but I wanted to keep it simple today when we're learning about this. I'm going to copy what I just set up on your machine, and I'm going to come over to my machine, and I'm going to put it in here as well. Okay, sweet. That's it. Next, we need to see whether it's right or not. Okay, whether we've got a match. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into here, into PowerPoint. I'm going to copy this shape that I created to the clipboard, and I'm going to come in and I'm going to paste it. Okay, when I paste it, it kind of puts it right there. I'm like, okay, what I want to do, this is CodeRush feature, by the way, Campbell. You can't do this without CodeRush. I'm going to come into here and I'm going to say the width is equal to, let's make it equal to about maybe 100. Okay, if I set it to 100, it gets much smaller. That's a pretty good size right there for me on that. Okay, so there's that one. Let's also get the other one in. Copy that to the clipboard. I'm going to build both of these, Campbell, and I'm going to paste them in on your side. Okay? Paste them in here. I'm going to set its width to 100 as well. Speaking of which, let me try something on your machine. Am I also missing the width templates? Nope, that one's there. You can type in W100 if you want to quickly set the width of something to 100. Okay, so now I'm going to come over to this view box that we just created. I'm going to type in W100 here. Okay, now this is a stack panel. So these are stacked. But watch what happens if I come up here and I set its visibility. I set it equal to hidden. It's still there, but it's taken up space. Watch what happens when I set its visibility to collapse. Isn't that kind of cool? Something can be visible, invisible, or collapsed, which is both invisible and doesn't take up any space. Does that make sense?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it is. It's really cool. So there's collapsed, there's visible, right? And see how it pushes down the blue checkbox?
Yeah.
And then let's change it to hidden. And here it pushes it down, but you can't see it. Make sense?
Yes.
So I'm going to make this collapse. I'm also going to use a template here called XN to create a name. And here we're going to call this one trying to come up with a good name for this. I'm going to call it the red X. That's what I'm going to call it. Okay? So the red X is collapsed. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to create something here called, I'm going to type in XN again. And I'm going to call this one the blue check. Okay? And we're going to, in our code, we're going to turn these on or off. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to come in here and say visibility on this is equal
To visible. Right? Or collapse.
I'm going to say collapse as well.
So that we can just turn them on.
Yeah, then I'm going to grab this from here to here, copy that, and coming over to your machine, I'm going to paste them in. Okay? Right here. They're there, but you don't see them.
Yeah.
Okay?
Because they're collapsed.
If you were to come in here and say visible, there it is right there. See it?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. We'll change it back to collapse. With this, by the way, I'd like to go do a check-in. Can we do that?
Yeah.
When we go over to our Reg Explorer, the only thing that's changed is our XAML, right? And so what we're going to do here is we're going to say we roughed out the initial user interface. And we're going to check this in right now. So let's stage all. Go ahead and hit the commit button right there. And then bring up GitHub and let's see if that's actually there.
Okay.
Is WPF still commonly used in new projects? Well, I think it depends. Blueberries is asking about that. It depends. It depends on the developer, I think, really. So commonly used, I'm not entirely sure about that. So we've got the Regex Explorer is up there. There's Campbell's page right there. Do a refresh on this. You should see it. There it is.
Yeah.
It roughed out the initial user interface 24 seconds ago.
Yeah.
So that's out at KidzCode1/Reg Explorer. You can get that now if you want to follow with us. Okay, next, Kim. All right, go back to your code over there, my friend.
Studio.
All right, next we want to start working with the data as it changes. And so what I want to do here is I want to go find my first text box, the one we called TBX regex pattern.
Yeah.
Okay, get to where I am in the code. Find that, and you can also use, by the way, if you use CodeRush's find, you know the num enter key.
Yeah.
Hit the num enter key, and type in TBX.
Okay.
I'm not liking that at all. All right, I'm going to, hold on, I'm going to record an issue here. Hold on a second. It's happening on Campbell's machine. So I'll have to find the log for you, but Campbell just brought jump to symbol up. He's got no code behind it all, essentially, and it's just saying collecting items. And there's really nothing here. It's incredibly simple. We just actually checked it in over here. Let me copy that to the clipboard at least, so we've got that in, and I will include that in what I send out. There's the piece to that. What are we doing over here? Let me try one more time. num0 and TBX. Collecting items. Yeah, check out that file. See what's going on. Can we duplicate that? Review the code. That's what it looks like there. Let me see if I can duplicate it on my side. If I can, that would be awesome. Well, even if I'm here, it's just collecting items. TBX. Whoa, I think we got a big new bug, kids. Mystic Soda's asking, why not just Control F plus TBX? This is a good example. We could do that. Because we're dogfooding CodeRush here, there's a bug here. I'm glad I can reproduce it on my machine. That's the project we're working with, exact code. We just checked it in a second ago. Why isn't it able to find there? Why doesn't it jump to symbol working in XAML? Does it work over here? Let's see what happens here. Jump symbol TBX. not found. Why doesn't it find the element? Interesting. Looks totally wrong, and we need to fix that, kids. All right, so let's do that. It's like a perf issue and a regular issue as well. Yeah. Jump to symbol fails. Oh yeah, it works with, it fails on both Campbell's machine and mine. All right, let me put that out there. All right, back to finding it. Did you find it? Were you in the same place? Did you get to it, Campbell?
Yes, I believe I did.
Okay, let me go out here so I'm with you in there. Right in this line right here. You're there?
Yeah.
All right, go to the end of the line, hit end key, and then left arrow to get back inside this declaration. And now what I want you to do is type in text change and see it. By the time you get to that CH, with a C even, you should see it help suggesting text change. Hit enter, and then hit enter one more time when it says new event handler. And now it says this. If you put the caret here in this TBX regex pattern text change, and you hit the tab key, you'll be taken into your code. Notice at the top, it says mainwindow.xaml.cs, and over here it says mainwindow.xaml. This is the C# file. It's called code behind. It's the code behind the visuals.
Why? Why does it write it? Why does it write this code?
Because it makes it easy now for us to do something here.
Oh.
We can now do something here.
Okay.
Okay? Now, I want to use something called regex. And let's see, is it going to know where this is coming from? Yes. So type in regex inside of line 30, just like I did. Okay? Type in regex. And you're not going to get anything initially for it, just like I did. Regex. Hit control dot. I'm not sure if that'll work for you because it's case sensitive. Yeah, there you go. Hit control dot on that. Yeah, see where it says using text, system text, regular expressions?
Yeah.
That's what we want. So hit enter on that. And what that's done is up at the top, it's added this line of code on line 5 for me. Right there. See it? It added that line of code for you. So now that it's using it, right, it's using that namespace, we can now work with that. We've seen this before in Unity. Remember we had to add system.unity or unity.ui?
Yeah.
Or else it couldn't understand what we were doing. The same thing. So with code, we're able to break things up into logical groups and give them meaningful names. That's what all of these represent. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so down here in regex, there's a regex. I don't know, to be honest, I should have learned how to do this before we got here. Is it new regex? Initializes a new instance of the regex class for the specified regular expression. Okay, cool. The pattern I want to give it is, I want to grab from that control we called TBX regex pattern, and then I want to do .text. That's what I want to give it. Okay, so this is the line of code you're looking for right here. Good. Hit semicolon. Oh yeah, .text. Hit the text. You're right. .text. Hit enter. Now semicolon. Now hit coderush key and get declare local. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Now hit the coderush key again and choose widen scope promote to field.
Okay.
And you can just put it there. Hit enter for there. All right. Good. So now we've got a regex piece here that is declared based on the text that's just been changed. Okay? Now, I want to also have something here called check for matches. Check for match. Okay? Semicolon right there. Okay? Good. Let's hit the coderush key and declare that method. And yeah, just put it right there. And here I think there's a regex dot matches property, and I'm pretty sure that's a Boolean property right there. Oh, it returns match collection. Is there an is match on there? Has match? What else is there? Match.
There's an is match.
Oh, there it is. In case whether regular expression. Okay, cool. Is match. Pretty sure it takes a string input. Okay. And let's do this. Let's come up after on this line 30 here. This is where we got regex or 29 for you. Okay. Go. Let's just move up. Hit escape. You can hit escape to drop that and just use the arrow keys to move up, and then end key there. You go. Hit enter to come down here.
Wait, what did you say?
Just telling you a faster way to move up, but you use the mouse, it's okay. You can just use the escape. You were like, I think here, or maybe here, see that? And I was saying just hit escape to drop those down, and then you can move up like that with the arrow keys. And then hit end to get to the end of the line like that. I'm just hitting end. Okay, now down on this line right here, so go hit enter and get down to the next line.
No, not caps lock.
Type in VS for variable of type string. Type in text to match, like this.
Text.
Okay. And then in check for match, is match, text to match. Paste that in there.
Wait.
Copy text to match to clipboard if you want. And paste it down in there. What we're going to do here is we're going to turn on those checkboxes.
My camera is off.
What'd you say?
My camera is off.
Oh, what happened with that?
I'm not sure. The light's not flashing anymore in
The light's not flashing.
OBS. Yeah.
That's not good at all. Okay, thanks for noticing that. Shoot. Can I refresh you from here? Let me try that. Deactivate, reactivate. It is not seeing you at all.
Oh, now the light's on again.
It is?
Yeah. Now it's off. Yeah, it's good.
So it's on when I say activate, but I'm not actually seeing you. Oh, man. That's not good. Can you turn on... So what's the workaround? How much time do we have left? The workaround is not great on this. So at this point, I deactivated it. Yeah, so it sounds like, when I've seen this happen before, the only way to get OBS to get this, by the way, this is what I'm working with, this UI right here. The only way to get OBS to get this, so configure video. Yeah, I've tried toggling and tweaking it. It's a complete restart. Which I don't want to do, because I'm like, so good. You know what I'm going to do on this, Campbell? Let's continue the show without your video. Is that cool with you? If we do that?
Sure.
And we'll just do a little bit more work?
Yeah, that's fine.
And then we will finish the show because we're kind of in a flow here, I'm feeling. We're about to get something cool work. So inside check for match, I want to make those other pieces go visible or not, the red X and the blue check. Okay?
Yeah.
So what I want to do is let's switch to both of these views right here. What I want to do is I want to say, okay, I want to copy that to the clipboard, that whole line right there, this bit right here. So the fastest way to do this is to hit the home key, put the caret anywhere in the line. Let's practice home and end for a second. Put the caret anywhere in the line, like this, okay? All right, hit home. Hitting home once takes you right there. Hitting home a second time, just FYI, will take you to the beginning of the line. And then you can toggle like this, see it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
How are you toggling?
Just by hitting home key again and again.
Oh.
Do it, try it. See how powerful that is? All right, get to the beginning of the line like that, and then shift end to select to the end. Okay? Got it? Now let's say for a second you were at the end of the line like this. Shift home.
Shift home, yeah.
See it? All right,
Yeah.
cut it to the clipboard. Type in if and paste it. Looks like the caps lock key might be on. All right, so if it's a match, I'm gonna. So go ahead and you can hit the semicolon here, by the way. Coders will add.
And then it will do it.
Yeah, hit the letter B in space to get the braces, and undo your caps lock and try that again. Don't forget, shift home is faster. Train yourself to use shift home. far fewer keystrokes, less error prone. All right, and now at this point I want to show the blue check and hide the red X. So let's figure out how to do that. I'm going to give you a clue. It's going to start with blue check dot something. Okay? You figure that out if you can. Meanwhile, I'm going to hide the red X. I'll work on that code. That's my code right there. What do you got? Should have visibility suggested. Oh, BI. You type in an L and you need a BI right there. Backspace 1 and you'll get it.
Oh, right.
There it is right there at the top. Visibility. See it suggesting?
Dot, right?
Yeah.
Dot visible.
Sweet. So you're going to work with your code and my code and combine them together.
Okay.
So I'll come over there and paste mine with yours. Come back over here and do this. Otherwise, now I'm going to come down here at the end of this line, do that, same thing right there.
Else, just, yeah.
Now, here's what you're going to type in, LB for else braces.
Ah, and then you don't have to do L and then get down.
Yeah, it's much faster. Get to where I was. It's at the end of that person. Ooh, you came back for a second, Campbell.
Oh, I see it.
And you're frozen again. Not happy at all on that. Let's see if I can bring you up here. You adjust your webcam. Yeah, it is not. It's not liking that Brio for some reason. And then, oh, look what you did. You're already on it, man. You're beating me. This is not a race. But I will not be defeated. All right, I'm done. Did you finish? Oh, you still work. Oh. All right. Good and good. I love it. So if it's a match, we're going to be good. Now there's one other thing. One other piece we have to do. We have to get something. We have to assign that to something. With something to this. And here's where we're going to do that. We're going to come back over here, and just like we created this text changed event right here, Campbell.
Yeah.
You see that? For this, what do you think we're going to do for this one? Right here. What we're going to do here for this text box?
I don't know.
We're going to create a text change event for it. Create a new event handler, because this is the text we're going to change. So click on it.
Wait, okay, now.
If you click right on it, it'll select it.
Where? Here?
Look to the right of that. Look to the one to the right of that box. That's the edit box. Okay? Cool. Go up to the line above. End of it. Go to the end of it and then come in one. Just to the left. Good. Now type in text change. Okay, good. Hit enter. And go down and select new event handler and hit enter. So just down arrow and enter again. Now tap the next reference on TBX text change. Okay? Now, in here, we're going to say, what is it? We called it text to match. See it? Is equal to the text of this control. That's what we're going to write. That's the code we're going to write right there.
Okay. Text to match.
Wait, you got a 6 in
I
front
know.
of it. Oops, hold on, it already suggested it for you, backspace 4. Give me semicolon in there. So you're looking at the keyboard while you're typing, is that right, Campbell?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mystic Soda brought this up, and I kind of had it up, but we were having troubles at the time. Let me bring it up again and we'll talk about this. So XAML is the visual graphical structure definition. The XAML CS is the code logic that actually produces your application. That's correct. That's correct. Yes, that's right. And so this is our code right here. Now, so as we change, let's do this. let's set a breakpoint here and a breakpoint here. Got it?
Yeah.
And why not? I don't know. I'm gonna leave check for match as it is. I think. Let's run it. Okay. And see what it looks like. So I'm gonna run. Just hit the run button. Provide value on converter line 40, position 31. A problem in code. Line 40, position 31. Let's go look at that. 40. Oh, okay. That's, kind of a big deal. Let me fix mine. Yours probably worked. Did yours work when you were hit run?
Huh?
Did yours work when you hit run?
No, I didn't run it.
What happened to Campbell? He dead. Yeah, his video died, and I'm like, All right, so here's mine right here. Hit run on yours. Hit start button up there, right up here. That's the start button. Hit that button, Campbell. Now we're going to be able to, there are build errors. Join continue less, except we'll say no on this, Campbell. What's your error? You need a semicolon. Double click on the error down the error list down there. Double click on that and add that semicolon there at the end of the line. Okay? Save it all and run.
Nope. Escape.
Escape. I think it's because you're going to do a Windows snip. I think you may have hit.
I hit
Windows
Control
key
Shift
to
S. Nope.
Control Shift S. Okay,
It's
I think that's.
Skype. Skype does. I
hit
think.
escape? See if
I
escape.
am. I'm hitting
That
escape.
doesn't work
It's not
either?
working.
Interesting. All right. Well, I just clicked. I guess. Oh wait, hold on. I'm going to do that. Save it. I hit Control Shift S. It worked. Okay. All right. So we're going to hit run. And now I'm going to just drag it to the right a bit so it shows up on our view together. You can still see our view together, right?
Yeah.
Oh, look at yours looks different from mine. See that?
Uh-huh.
This is because of a debug option in Visual Studio. We'll ignore that for now. Now let's work on the regex pattern. So let's type in our regex pattern, open bracket. Oh, as soon as I make a change, look what happens. So go put the caret in here and make any change. Type
Where?
in any text. Put caret. Nope. In your app. This is your app. Type in the open bracket there. Good. Okay. Looks like, you didn't set the breakpoints. So
No.
now we get into an exception. Okay? So we've got an exception, meaning our regex pattern is invalid. That's cool. Let's kill the app for a second. Let's just choose stop debugging for now.
So wait, which part of the code is regular expression?
The part of the code that's regular expressions is that which we will type into our running app that we're testing. So the stuff we're going to type into here, we're going to learn about regular expressions in a second. But there's a problem because an exception was thrown. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to select these two lines of code. An exception means there was problem data. So select line 46 and 47. And now hit the letter C for catch. This decoder is going to build a try-catch block around it. And now when there's an exception, let's do this. Let's say title equals ex.message. So the title of our application will now change to the exception. It's a way we could do this. We could also, in I think tomorrow's show, we'll make this a way better looking and do something. But for right now, we'll type in title is equal to ex.message. Okay? Cool?
Yeah.
All right, semicolon on the end of the line. Save, run it again. Okay? Let's also, wait. You don't have a breakpoint anymore. You're here. Let's set a breakpoint here. We're just clicking there to set a breakpoint. Okay? All right, are you running? Hit start to run your app. I'm going to clear my breakpoints. I was matching breakpoints with you. I'm going to hit start as well. Bring your app over, drag it to the right side of the screen. So there you go. So we can see it together. And here's mine right here. So in the regex pattern, let's do an open brace. Okay, look at this. We're getting an exception. See at the top?
Yeah. Wait. Yes.
Okay. See that right there? And
Yep.
then, but what's going to happen? We have a slight problem. Let's do one other thing. Set a breakpoint on line 49. For me, it's this open brace in the track. Give me a breakpoint in there.
49.
Open brace to try. That's close enough. That's close enough. All right. So let's now type in the letter A. And now you get to this breakpoint right in here. I want to do one more thing. When you get to the breakpoint, type in letter A inside the app, the running app. Right here. Type the letter A right there. Type the closing brace. Now you're there at the breakpoint. Do this. Type in up here. I want a line of code that says title is something like this. Reg X looks good. Like that. Okay, no exceptions. If we get to here, no exceptions. What an exception does is there's a problem, it jumps out of this block of code and is caught, and we execute this. That's what's going on. The exception says what's in the message is, we're putting it in the title. But if we don't get an exception on this line of code, Campbell, that means this will execute, this will execute, and then we get to regex looks good. Okay, that's good for now. All right, so I'm going to run, and I'm going to clear my breakpoint. You're going to do the same thing over here on yours. I'm going to do it for you right now. Is that okay if I just do it real quickly?
Yeah.
Okay. Title, reg X looks good. Like that. Semicolon out at the end. Save it, clear the breakpoint, run. Okay. Now get your app back on screen so we can see it. Okay. So I've got A, and now let's actually add a B and a C and a D and an E inside like that. Okay? And put an end bracket on the end. All right, good. Now in text to test, type in A. And now, look what's happening here. You should get the breakpoint.
Oh, sorry.
I want to do one other thing so
Yeah.
everybody can see your stuff better. I'm going to drag this over here. Like that. So, and bring, yeah, so there we go. People can see your code as well. Okay, cool. So now we're at the breakpoint, right? Hit
Yeah.
F10 to execute this line of code.
I can.
You don't have F10?
No, my F keys don't work, remember? Because
Oh, the function lock key doesn't work.
Yeah.
Can you just try hitting F10 and see what happens? It works. Oh no, it doesn't work.
Wait, sorry. That was no, that was me. My arm accidentally went down on the space
cool.
bar.
Hit undo. So it looks like F10 is working. F10 is going to advance you. Hold on a second. Let me move the mouse a minute here so I can bring this on so people can see this. F10 executes code a step at a time. See the yellow arrow? That tells you what line we're on right now. Hit F10 again. And now hover, see the mouse over there? Look what text to match is. It's now equal to A.
Ah.
See that right there? All right, now I'm going to do the same thing on my machine. Text to match is A. Let's clear the breakpoint. You can clear it by clicking the red circle.
Yeah.
Okay, clear it, hit F5 to run. F5 runs. Okay. Value cannot be null. Parameter name input. Oh, we forgot to do one thing. Set a breakpoint on line on the start of this method here. 59, I think, for you.
58.
No. Yeah, it's 59.
Oh.
All right, good. That's the starting breaking point. You can actually break on the brakes. Go back into your app. Type in B. We forgot to do one call. The call we forgot is this one right here. Check for match. See it? Go up there, copy it, and then paste it down here. See that check for match? Or just type it in. Just start typing in check for match either way. And you gotta put parentheses.
Oh, I'm back! Wait, I was back for a sec. Here?
Oh yeah, the camera is not looking good. Yeah, after this line. You want to do it after you set check for match, because check for match uses text to match. And open paren, close paren, and it's the method call.
Oh, now the light is no longer on.
Yeah, open paren, close paren, semicolon. Get that done.
Sorry.
Clear the breakpoint. and then let's run it. Through the breakpoint, F save and F5 to run. All right, good. Now type in C, type in D, type in E, and type in F. Oh wow, F shouldn't be good. F is good. Huh, look at this. I'm not getting my title change on here. What happens on yours when you type in F right now? You're not getting your title change either. That doesn't make sense. Parameter name input. Do I have a problem no matter what? Okay, all right, got it. So for some reason the title's not going. I'm gonna have to close the app down and run it again. It's almost like it didn't get this line of code change I'm suggesting here. Let's try one more time. I'm gonna do the same pattern before to catch up with you here. A, B, C, D, E, like that. And then we're gonna type in, okay, we're kind of getting a match there. What if I type in, yeah, not matching there. But this is never changing back. Does that mean we're actually hitting an exception? Why isn't title changing back to regex look good? I am like really kind of stunned. Oh, I know why. I know why. Because I didn't change it here. I added the code after I made the regex good. So let's break the regex, then fix it. Now it's good. Okay, I'm good with that. All right, so let's start talking about regex. So this is getting a match because it's looking to see if any of these characters
are in there, yes.
Are inside of here. But let's say we wanted to look for, let's talk about this. Mark Miller. So I'm going to type in my name right there. And let's say that I want to look for something that starts at the beginning of the line. It doesn't indicate the beginning of the line, M-A-R, like K, like that. And every time I'm changing it, saying it looks good. What if I wanted to do M-A-K? Now it doesn't match.
Oh.
What if I wanted to look at just M? So now it'll match anything that starts at M at the beginning of the line. So now if I type in Fred, it doesn't get it, but if I type in Maybell, it does. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Try typing and playing with some of these as well. So that marks for the end of the line. What if at the end of the line, I want to check to see if it ends with R? I can type in R $. $sign means the end of the line. So now we can come in here and we can say Miller, and now I got it. But if I say Miller's, it doesn't get it. See what's happening? You try typing in the same thing. It's way better, I think, if you do that. Same thing.
So, wait, can I try something?
Yeah, you can try whatever you want. But knowing that $sign is a special syntax for regular expressions. I'm not sure about the percent.
Okay.
But it said, I don't know what percent does in regular expressions. I think it's a naming convention, if I'm recalling correctly. Let's look at this. Regular expressions. I'm going to throw in the word chart. I meant to say chart. And what do we got here?
I was just thinking that the percentage sign might work because, well, we're using the $sign and the.
Right. Yeah, no, sorry, Coding Gorilla's out there. Yeah, we're having a problem with his video camera, or maybe the cable. One of those two things, I'm not sure. But I think he needs a new camera is what I think he needs. So I'm looking at the regular expressions cheat sheet here. I put a link to it in the chat room. And I'm going to kind of zoom these up here so we can see them. No, I'm just going to close this. Zoom out, close it. All right. So there are some anchors here. Right? One of those is The caret for start of a line. Hold on, let me bring it over so you can see it here. See it right there on the screen, Campbell? That means the start of the line. $ is end of the line. Okay, end of the string or end of the line in a multi-line pattern. So that's the end of a line or start of the line. Okay. I've also got word boundaries here. So I'm set up a word boundary kind of thing. So I want to look for. This is what's really cool is we can start looking at some of these pieces in here, and based on them, we can see if we can find matches. For example, see this? This is looking for one or more. Okay?
Ah, yeah.
Okay. I can also use a quantifier and say I want exactly 3. So see that right there? So back over here in my test app, I can say I want to find exactly 2 R's, like that. And I don't have a match now, but let's see what happens if I type in Mark Miller. I still don't have a match. What if I put 2 next to each other? I do. See it? It needs 2. Can you try that?
Mm-hmm.
Specify how many R's you want to match, and then make changes to it. And now add another R in there, or something like that, somewhere. There you go.
No, it has to be 2 in a row.
Yes, it has to be 2 in a row. Exactly.
Why?
What?
Is there a way to make it so that it checks?
You want 2 total? I think there is, but I forget. I don't know what it is. We're going to learn about this today and tomorrow. So today, I think we've got only like 3 minutes left for the show before the control comes in. I'm a meta character, so I'm going to escape character. So what does? I think the percent is just a percent key. Is what it is. I think if I type it in here, I'll get a match. Yeah, there's no special thing there with it. You have to use a positive look ahead, says Coding Gorilla. Coding Gorilla is suggesting looking at something called positive look ahead. We might look at that tomorrow to answer your question, Campbell. So now, if I want to now look at a number, if I want to get a digit, I think I can specify it. Yeah, I want to say it's with the /d, like that. And then let's see if that works. Yes. So what's cool about /d, Campbell, is that can be any number. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
No, not at all.
D stands for digit, and /d means it can be any number. So look at this. Let me show you. I'm going to paste in what I've got over here. Now you type in like 99%.
Okay, so if there's any number before the percentage sign.
Exactly. So you type in 99%. When you hit that percent, you should get a match. See it? So now you've got something that's legal, right? Does that make sense? You should even be able to say 99.1 or something like that, right?
Not here, but if we do like that.
See it? See what's cool about this?
Yeah.
All right, now let's do this as well. Let's do a /w and a space and another /w, like this. W is word, I'm pretty sure. I can paste those in for you if you want. Sorry about that, I moved my mouse over to the machine. Can we paste that in real quickly, or do you think you got that? Let me paste it in.
Could you paste it?
There you go. So you got W/W. So now try typing in Mark space Miller. And as soon as you get something that could be a word, right, with a space between it, you delete that space, we don't have a match anymore. See it? You with me on it? Just type M space M. There it is. So W/W means word, /D means digit. What we're talking about for the vector thing, we're talking about having a syntax that's going to be number, comma, number, comma, number. See it? So we might come in here and say /D, comma, /D, comma, /D. That's my 3D syntax. For
space, comma, space.
Let's talk about that. So we got a match. What happens when we put a space in? We don't have a match. Well, let me give you this.
No, but we need to put the space in between the commas and the digits.
Let's make it optional. Okay? So to make it optional, we can do a /s for space and then a plus or star for 0 or more. I know I'm coming at you with a lot of stuff here. Well, let's just do /s for now. Okay, /s means space. I'm putting it afterwards. after the groups. So the group says, here's what's valid, right? There, there, and there. That's the group right there with the brackets. It's kind of I may be using the wrong word there. Now I've got spaces on either side. I could even put a space at the beginning like this as well. But I don't have a match, right? Maybe let's just do this. Let me paste this into you, and you take a look at this now. Okay, I'm gonna paste it in.
Yeah.
And now try typing in 3, 2, 3.
So 3 come.
Whoops, I had the slash in the wrong space. It needs to be after the comma, right? Like that. Okay, so now you got a match. What happens if you forget a space?
Nope.
Not good, right?
Yeah.
Delete the space on your side.
What do you mean? Oh, yeah.
Delete the space and get the X.
But if we do, it was this you
tell
said?
you what it is?
Yeah.
Or do you remember?
I got it.
There it is. Star means 0 or more of the thing before to my left do I need to match. So it's optional now. That's how you declare optional space. So now we've got it. Not bad, right? Also, notice if I add space at the beginning and end, it's okay because it still finds it in there. Okay? Does that make sense? So it's kind of ignoring spaces at the end, at the beginning or end. I could also say I want to look for parens. To specify a paren, I have to put a slash in front of it. Pretty sure. And so now it won't match until I put parens around it. See it?
Uh-huh.
See what's going on my side over there? I'll do the same thing. We don't really want that because that's extra work. We don't need parens, but we could make them optional. Campbell, how would you make these parens optional?
Huh? Wait.
So I had to do a slash in front of it because a paren's a normal character. Okay, there's one. You're halfway there. What's the other thing you do to get the opening paren optional? Nope.
No. Oops. Sorry, wrong place. I meant to here.
Nope, it's got to modify the optional attribute modifies whatever came before it. There, you did it. So now you can put it in parens or not, right? And it still should match. Mine won't because I haven't made mine optional yet. Cool?
Yeah.
Cool. Now, by the way, if I had shown you this right here, you'd be like, Dad, what is that, right? But what's cool about this tool we built, right, and building tools to explore, is that we are able to, very quickly, especially if the tool gives us instantaneous feedback like this one does, we're able to very quickly build something and understand it while we're building it.
Yeah.
So now that we've built it, we don't really need to read it anymore. We just assign it to a meaningful name and say, this is the regular expression we want to match. Here she comes, kids. It's the end of the show.
Bye! See you later!
Oh, you didn't have to get up.
Wow, shut it down. You shut it down, buddy. Came back. We're back. Okay, we'll shut down properly here. Coding Roller says the brackets are redundant in that context. Oh, right, because I only have one thing in here. But what if I was to also use the letters A, B, C, D, or E like that? Now I could come down, and the first one I could use the letter B, and it would still match. But the letter.
Wait, Dad, we're not seeing your thing right now.
Thank you so much. Yeah, just really closing it. I can stick it. So I made this change, Campbell. Coding Roller is saying these are redundant. These are useful if you want to have a group of characters that are all possible to match from. Okay, and I think I can. And so that's what this is. And so the way these are going is this means A or B or C or D or E.
Is there a way? Never mind.
Go ahead. No.
Never mind. No.
The answer's probably yes, whatever you're asking.
I got it.
I think I can put a comma here as well, and I think I can now put parens and do ABC. And what this will do is this will say, well, A will match. Why is B matching here? Oh, I guess it's any of those. Oh, shoot. Well, let's do this. Let's take out. I wanted A, B, C. It's matching because of this, is that right? I wanted, I'm sorry, I wanted the whole thing, and I forget how to do this as a sequence here. I wanted to match a whole string, and I thought this was going to work. I thought that's what parens do, but now I'm remembering differently. I think parens do something else. All right, so yes, we can simplify this by saying, okay, you know what? We don't need these, we just need the /d. And we just need the /d here, and we need the /d here, right? That's what Coding Girl is talking about. And so now we can make that work like this and this. I'll have to look up the other one. I thought I knew it, but I didn't. A better optional quantifier is question mark, which means 0 or 1. Oh, that's true, because I could come in here like this because we're using 0 or many for the question for the parens, which means this is still legal. But if I make it question mark, that should now, oh, it still matches because it's going all the way there. Let's add the end of the line piece. Whoops, sorry, end of the line is that one, and beginning of the line is this one. And so now we're not matching because we've got all these extras right there because of the question mark. If we change that back to this, and we did, it would match. So that's what Coding Gorilla is suggesting. Coding Gorilla is saying, let's do 0 or 1 with the question mark, which means we want to do it here too. We don't want to do it here for spaces, because you know what? Spaces are okay here. What if somebody puts a space there? Uh-oh, it's broken. To fix that, you can just have a bunch of optional spaces there. Right,
Yes.
right there. And right there. And so now, did I do that right? Oh no, I didn't. It's right there. There,
And then,
what do you want to say?
this just like to have a wide margin for error.
Yep.
So we can make it so that there's optional spaces between the digit and the comma as well.
Sure, you're right. We totally could do that.
Because you might accidentally
Might as
put
well
a
do
space
that.
if you
Make
don't
it so
know.
it's very tolerant of user errors. So before the commas, we got 2 commas in there, and there. That means I should be able to come in here and make these changes here, and we still get a match.
Yeah.
Whereas if I did not have those, I used to undo here and undo there, and undo here and undo here. Go back to match. I put space in. We don't have them.
No.
So we'll hit Control Y. We'll redo it. That looks like it will. All right,
Yeah.
cool. So now we've got our killer regex pattern for matching this. All right. The next thing we're going to look about, well, we'll talk about this next time because we're at the end of the show. But tomorrow we're going to look at how to grab the data from each one of these, and we're going to live display all the return data over here on the side. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to copy this to the clipboard before I close it down, Campbell, like
Okay,
that.
so
And I'm
that
going
we
to
can-
just make a note, a comment in the code to say that we found this. We found this expression
Helpful.
was great for matching vector syntax, a proposed vector syntax. Proposed vector syntax. Like that. And she's back! We're done! The show's over! Let me go. Let me
Goodbye!
get it going. Wow! You didn't even check the rate up. Run now! Run now! What are you doing that, Campbell? Alright, I'm hitting the raid. Let's get this, let's see who's out
Okay.
there. Bald Bearded Builder. We'll send you over there. We'll start that raid going right now.
All right.
Thanks so much, everybody. And we will see you
Next time.
tomorrow.
Oh yeah, tomorrow.
Please, Karen, don't kill them. Alright, everybody, thanks so much.
Goodbye.